What's up, everybody? In this video, we're going to go into how to call geese. Let's do it. The first call we're going to go into is the moan. So, what exactly is the moan? If you ever got close to a goose or to a nest, you'll probably hear them do this moan, like a ooh, ooh. What that essentially means is, hey, I'm over here, don't come any closer. This is my space. So, how to use this in the field? So, when geese do this, that means this is my space. Usually they're chattering at other geese when they're doing this. This is my little feeding area, stay away. So do it when they're flying like up close to you, because this is more of like a quiet call. This is more of a not a loud call. They're not gonna hear from 500 yards away flying. They're gonna hear it when they're close, so do it when they're close, because that's what geese do in the field. They don't scream at each other. They make clucks and moans when they're feeding, and that is more realistic to what geese do in the field. I don't really moan that much in the field. I don't really do that much. I really rely on a lot of clucking. I go with more clucks, but moans, they do have a place. You should use them, just so you need to know how to use them at the right time. So I would use the moan with the clucks when you want them to finish into your spread. So if you can see them sort of start the pivot a little, if you want them to land in a certain area where you can shoot them, and they're going to look like they're going to land like 40 yards in front of that, you can do a moan and a little cluck, and that could just entice them in to get that a little distance so you can get a shot at them. So this is going to be a really quick tutorial on how to use a goose call. So essentially what you want to do is use it's like using a turkey call. You gotta use pressure from down here, your diaphragm. You just gotta go like this. You just gotta play around with it and see what works for you. That's the main thing, what works for you. This is how it sounds in the back of the call. By the way, I'm now a world champion goose caller, so please forgive me if this sounds a bit bad. So now, guys, we're gonna go into the cluck. So what the cluck does, this is the most versatile call you can do. You can do it fast, you can do it slow. You can combine the calls together and make a really sporadic, I guess you can call it, sort of sound, which can draw those geese in. So when they use the cluck, I would use the cluck when they're sort of far and medium and close range. I like to use the cluck for like all certain situations. I like to mix it in with maybe a honk, or I'd like to use it just alone, or I'll mix it in with the moan and make it like a moan cluck. You gotta read the situation as it depends on it. So for example, if you see geese flying in, and you might just need to only do 5 clucks, or even less. You just might just have to make a few clucks, and you might be a little bit quiet with them, because those geese might want not like a lot, or those geese might not like a lot calling. But if they do like a lot calling, you might have to go really excited stuff to bring that huge flock of geese into your spread. How to do the cluck? You just gotta apply really a lot of fast back pressure. You gotta apply a lot of quick pressure like this. You just have to play around with it how you like to call with it. Because I know some people like to put the tongue on the top of their mouth, some people don't. I personally don't, but you just gotta play around with it to see how it works for you. Then you can get into a lot of crazy kind of calling like this. You just gotta play around with it to see how that call works for you. Then you can get into some really advanced stuff, and also we'll do a video about that. But for now, this is for more beginners, so you just gotta play around with your call and see what works for you. That's the most important thing, what works for you. Then you get some crazy kind of calling, and you can get a lot of geese. Now, the final one we're gonna go over is the honk. So the honk, you use at a far, far distance when you just see them flying. You use the honk to get their attention. Let me explain further. If you see them far, far off in the distance, here's what you do. You want to flag and start just doing honks really loud to get their attention to come here, come here. Because the honk is for really far distance, but you can use it for medium, but I would not use it for close stuff. So to do the honk, here's what it sounds like in the back of the old call. I would use this for far, far stuff though. I wouldn't use it for anything close now. So now we're gonna put them all together now. We're gonna put these things all together. So we're gonna go over a situation that hopefully for new beginners this can help you. So if you see them far off in the distance, I highly recommend getting a goose flag just to get their attention. So if you see them far off in the distance, you start with this, with the honk. After that, hopefully you got their attention. Now they're coming in. Then you can start clucking. Hopefully they're coming in. So now you use the moan, and you can do it if you put little clucks in there. So now they're coming closer. You want them to pump the brakes and start landing in the spread. So now you do the moan, and you can add a little cluck in there too. So I hope this video helped you new hunters or just guys who are getting started into it learn more about goose calling, and hopefully you guys can get a goose with it. But besides that, if you guys want to see fishing with a stick, video down here. And if you guys want to see early season goose decoying, video down here. But besides that, I'll see y'all next video. See ya.